Haney gonna get destroyed. Destroyed. Guaranteed.
Ryan Garcia, did he use an illegal intravenous liquid IV? That's what we want to talk about. That's what Team Haney is talking about. In a new 8-page letter sent to the New York State Athletic Commission. Oh my God. Certified boogeyman. I'm the one that upped the score with him. By now, if you guys have subscribed to the channel, you know that Devin Haney and his team, his attorney, Mr. English, has sent an 8-page letter to the New York State Athletic Commission. I've talked about it several times. There are some things that, to me, are a bit questionable. Now, of course, nobody wants to feel like they weren't on an even playing field or got cheated. Totally understand that. But some of the things in this complaint, to me, are filler, and other pieces of it are things that happen before the fight, such as there's a section where they're saying that Devin was placed, this is a quote, Devin Haney, he was placed in an unsafe fight under New York State Athletic Commission jurisdiction. The bout was made a mockery in addition to the PED use and prohibited use of IVs, right? So I want to spend some time talking about the IV. Now, there is a clip where it appears that Ryan Garcia is attached to some form of IV system, right? And I guess he's replenishing, getting electrolytes and vitamins. Team Haney, in their write-up, they're alleging that basically this is being used to flush his system as a masking agent to further eliminate the trace of illegal activity in PED usage. The letter reads that the attorney has attached a purported YouTube video of Ryan Garcia taking fluid with a, quote, yellowish tinge through an IV in his letter, writing, quote, IVs are well-known ways to avoid positive drug tests as they dilute the urine. So again, you're flushing out your system with all the bad stuff, all the no-no stuff, all the PED stuff, which that is true. Like, people have used whatever as a masking agent to try to get illegal stuff out of their system. The biggest problem that I have looking at it is this was done on DAZN's watch. So DAZN is the platform that had the pay-per-view. So if you look at the video, DAZN cameras are the ones that captured Ryan Garcia and a doctor or whoever administering this IV in question, right? The other issue is it was before the fight even took place. And this was on their, for lack of a better word, it's their HBO 24/7 Showtime All Access shoulder programming equivalent. So this didn't exist in like an epilogue, if you will. Like Showtime, they did the All Access shoulder programming, and then they would have bonus scenes that no one has really seen until the final epilogue episode is to come out. This is not the case. This, I don't know when they shot it. So that's one issue. I don't know where they were. I don't know what state he was in. I don't know any of the details. I don't know if there's multiple IV usage claims. I don't know, because it's not outlined specifically, but they are referring to this YouTube video with the yellowish tinge. So I'm assuming this is, it has to be, because there's no other YouTube video. If you look at it, if you search Ryan IVs or whatnot, you won't find any other videos that I've seen outside of this. So that means this was on DAZN's shoulder programming. What type of operation is this where a person is on PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, on steroids, and they are so emboldened where they are going to allow the platform to film them getting rid of the evidence? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if somebody's on an episode of The First 48 and they're on not trial, but they're being accused of 187 in a shooting, right? And then you literally have the cameras, First 48 cameras or Forensic Files cameras filming you. It's not like a sting or a hidden camera or anything you're unaware of. You're consenting to be on camera. You're talking calmly to whoever you're speaking to. And he's like, oh, I can taste it. Like he literally, there's a section in this same video where Ryan Garcia says, when he's getting this, he said, oh, I can kind of taste it. I like that. Right. So he's saying he can feel, I guess, the vitamins or something in his system or whatever was in the IV. Right. And back to my analogy, that's like being on the First 48. You're being accused of a crime, like a shooting, and they're trying to pin it on you. And they have footage and a camera crew rolling, and you're just calmly filing the serial number on the Glock so they can't trace it. Or sometimes people will mess up and defile the gun so a ballistics match can't be produced because they messed up the barrel of the gun, right? And that would be like doing that right there as the First 48 Forensic Files camera crew is right there and doing it. Now, I don't know, to each his own, I guess. But for me, I think that element of it seems a bit odd, that somebody knows they're cheating and they're purposefully cheating to gain, like this letter says, an illegal advantage. And they're so bold with it that they're flushing their system in an illegal manner on tape, caught in 4K by the actual promotion, which is DAZN. That element of it does seem weird, but I guess we're gonna find out what it is. Whoa, what's up? So it looks like the Haneys, they're almost like reaching for the stars with some of these things, because the other issue is this was before the fight. What type of team and safeguards do you have in place? And this is not about quote unquote victim blaming, but every top level fighter has to have a strong team around them. And you have to know how the game is played, like Floyd Mayweather, right? Devin Haney's team has said the Mayweather era is over. Gervonta Davis era over, things of this sort. And it's the Devin Haney era. So you have to understand, if you are a talented team or fighter and other guys may not have your skill set, you have to understand that cheating is something that people potentially do, right? And that goes with any type of business. Like, for example, the border. They seen people in Mexico were illegally smuggling drugs to the U.S. Over the years. I'm sure they improved their systems for increased rates of detection. So if you are trying to smuggle drugs in a vehicle and drive past the border, you know, they got improved methods over the last 30 years to try to capture people. And yeah, it should just be a border where people are trying to come from one place and then get into America. But you have to understand that there is some people who are not going to do right by things, or it's no different than a retail store having protocols and ways to deter shoplifters. Yeah, you're just trying to run a sound business and a business that makes sense and turn profit, but you have to understand that people do steal. That's why if you go to a Walmart and Target and stores like that, sometimes now these stores, at least in California, I don't know where you guys are from, but out here in California, sometimes these stores, they are locking up expensive items, like even items you wouldn't even expect. Like Walmart, the one out here is kind of crazy. They'll lock up expensive hair dye kits and things like that. Or you go to Target, they'll have all the laundry detergent and it's in a glass case, and you have to push a call button in order to get an associate to unlock to get a thing of Tide or Tide Pods or whatever. and that's just the world we live in. So to me, it seems a bit odd that this video comes out way before the fight even took place, and your team clearly had access to it, probably watched it, but didn't say anything about him doing illegal activity until Ryan Garcia defeated him, and then he popped dirty, and we're waiting for the B sample. And now all these issues, some of which were declared or known or available way before the fight even happened or before the fight happened. Like, they're saying, oh, Ryan, throughout this complaint, they're saying Ryan Garcia, he purposefully came in overweight to game the system for an illegal, unfair advantage. He told you that. After he missed weight, he went to Twitter and said, I got the weight advantage now. You still elected to fight him. You never at any point did you guys decide to pull the plug. So I just feel no matter what the outcome is with the B sample, there are a lot of questions for Team Haney as well, not in terms of like cheating or drug testing, but the failures to protect and safeguard such a breadwinning fighter who is supposed to be the face of boxing. I've never seen it. Like, I've never seen, like, when Maidana tried to wear them gloves with Floyd, and Floyd was like, no, can't do, you're not wearing those gloves, because he's not going to let anybody finesse him or get over on him. Team Haney, knowing that Ryan had beat him half the times they fought in the amateurs, 3 times out of 6, they didn't have a rematch clause. They didn't make Ryan Garcia do a same-day weigh-in after egregiously missing weight by 3.2 pounds. This whole IV business was made and known and available, and he was doing this IV. You didn't complain about it. You didn't block the fight. You proceeded with the fight, and he talked crazy throughout the promotion. You didn't elect to cancel the fight the understudy, which was Arnold Barbosa. You didn't do any of these things. And then now, and only when Devin Haney loses, and it's an embarrassing career potentially changing loss, now they want to come up with all these complaints, but like, oh, this went wrong and this went wrong, and how come he was doing the IV? And it's like they're almost like looking for all the plausible excuses of deniability, and some of these are truly missteps from my perspective from Team Haney. Like, yes, you can't control if somebody's juicing. If somebody's a cheat, they're a cheat. I get it. But Walmart, as I mentioned earlier, or Target, they can't control that people are shoplifters. They can't control like, oh, this guy is a known notorious shoplifter, and he, is in a ring of shoplifters and people who steal. But they can protect themselves as a corporation, a company, a brand, and try to at least make it harder for people to game the system, beat the system, steal stuff. Like, you go to Apple Store, and then they have Find My iPhone and ways to erase the data or make the phone like not work, or they might use a dummy phone, or they'll have it attached to a security system, because this type of stuff happens, especially out here in the Bay Area, where people bip and run in these Apple stores and try to steal all the iPhones and stuff. And then you have to have ways to protect yourself, is the point I'm making. So whatever Ryan did, I'm sure will come to light. That's its own issue. I'm waiting, of course, until the B sample, because this is not my battle. I don't have to fight the battle because it doesn't pertain to me. I am just a YouTube boxing reporter, and I'm giving you my opinion. It's just mind-boggling that Team Haney had 0 safeguards in place to protect their fighter, from a rematch clause, rehydration clause, knowing that if you're saying he's using masking agents now, this video was way before the fight even took place. So for me, I would have canceled the fight. If I think he's cheating and he's overweight and he's playing around and he's saying all these weird things, and this is what I said from the beginning. Anybody who watches my channel, you'll know this. The Haneyacks have gone crazy trying to, conjure up all these things to say, but then your boy Ego told all of you guys from the beginning that this fight was a show, and it spelled nothing but trouble as far as I was reading, and Ryan was putting himself in a win-win situation. Even to this day, people are still, whether Ryan cheated or not, people are still not going to believe that he didn't cheat, because that's some of the fans that he's attracted. And I've also predicted that throughout several of my content. I got to be the best in the business, and it's not even close. Ryan was pandering to, Trump fans, and, oh, I like Candace Owens, and, talking like Alex Jones with the Bohemian stuff, and, attracting some of Andrew Tate's audience or Fresh and Fit podcast. And he was attracting these different people who maybe don't even care about boxing at all. And as a result, now they got his back no matter what. And they're just like, oh, Devin Haney lost either way, accept it. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't necessarily care about the integrity of the sport. They don't care if he cheated or not. This is what I warned you guys about, and now live with the results.